Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to the 5th episode of my 1 vs 4 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against 4 Emperor AI that are on a team against me, and I'm playing as the Shadow Elf Sorcerer, Malus Nightlord. In our last episode, we continued to kind of expand our empire here, and we were actually able to make contact and take over this draconian city here. And we're actually right now in the process of absorbing this draconian city into our empire. We've also basically continued to expand further north with our main stack here, which is Malus, plus a few other units. And we did a quest for this city here and gained a reward for that. We're also kind of continuing to clear out these spawning structures. And then as well, we've got a little bit of action happening above ground, a little bit of scouting happening, in addition to, again, we have a vassal city up here. So lots going on and lots still to do. Now, before I dive into this episode, I would just like to give a couple of quick shoutouts to a few individuals who left some comments on the previous episode. The first is from My Brain Hurts, and Brain left a comment that echoed one of his previous comments on another episode, talking about how to kind of maintain balance of alignment here. And something that Brain had suggested is that if I ever need to get more evil points or even occasionally more good points, although mostly for the evil side, something that I could do is send a scout out, like let's say up here above ground, send a scout unit around, let's say even way over here to the east or something, off where to the west, where I'm not going to be going anytime soon, and basically encounter some independent cities and then declare war on them. And that would give me some very easy evil points. Alternatively, I could also try and make peace with them, and that would get me additional good points. But that's a great suggestion from Brain. I think that's a really easy way that kind of doesn't really end up hurting me much in terms of any negative impact on me. So that's a great suggestion. Of course, I do have to keep in mind the race of the city, but all things considered, that's still quite useful. Another thing that Brain had commented is that he was surprised that I didn't end up, I believe it was on this mana node, I didn't end up trying to use my Convert ability, which is the ability here of Virix the Arctic Widow, and I didn't try using that on a Phantasm Warrior that was actually here. And that's a great point. That was something I could have done, and I honestly just totally forgot. It didn't even occur to me to do that. And that actually is something that I need to kind of pay more attention to going forward, is that obviously I now have the ability to do that. And so I need to be thinking about this at all times, because this is a great way, again, to build up forces and increase my army size. The next set of comments is, or I guess one comment is from Gino Semenza. And Gino had actually pointed out that I had mentioned last episode that I was very excited to have Draconians, because Draconian units are going to have additional fire resistance here. They're going to start with 20% fire protection, which is nice because my Shadow Elf units here, if we take a peek, are actually weak to fire. So it's nice to have some units that are resistant to fire in contrast to my units that are weak to it. But Gino correctly pointed out that Draconians are, if we see here, they have Shadow Walker as well, which means that they are immune to the effects of Shadow Sickness. So Draconians are the only other race besides Shadow Elves who are immune to the effects of the Shadow Realm. So that's yet another reason why it's nice to have a Draconian city in the Shadow Realm especially. So thanks to Gino for pointing that out. And then the other commenter is Casper Eklund, as always. Casper left some fantastic comments. There's actually a number of different things he had mentioned, and I want to touch on a few of them. So one thing that Casper had mentioned is taking a peek at the Tier 3 unit for Shadow Elves. And we're going to do that right now. So we're going to just go in here. And there's a few reasons for doing this. So I believe this is it here, the Shadow Elf Umbral Weaver. And this is, as far as I can tell, this is the Tier 3 unit that Shadow Elves get to produce. And the reason that it's probably worth looking at is because I may need to make decisions based on my governance upgrades as I get more experience governing Shadow Elves, or just in terms of if I want to focus on certain upgrades, for example, for the Sorcerer that affect some of my units. It's good to know what my Tier 3 racial unit is, because that may end up mattering. So this Umbral Weaver here, let's just take a peek. So it is a support unit here, we can see. So that's actually kind of good for us, because the Sorcerer has some upgrades that actually do impact the support unit, so that's nice. And it has a number of abilities here that I am not familiar at all with. So Invoke Darkness. Plunges a 5 hex area of the battlefield into darkness. Deals 2 frost damage and 2 physical damage to all units except Shadow Elves and Lightning Sprites. And has a chance of blinding them. Well, that's kind of cool. So it's basically just a big AoE attack. That's pretty sweet. Shadow Burst. Performs a physical attack that can't be retaliated against on the frontal 3 enemy units. That's kind of cool. I wonder if that's almost kind of like an Assassin Strike, but that hits multiple units. That's pretty neat. They have Inflict Marked by Shadows, and they also have Inflict Blinded. Blinded units cannot target units or objects more than 1 hex away with ranged abilities. Okay, so that's kind of the standard blind impact there. And then we have Shadow Artifact. Adjacent enemy units that are vulnerable to Shadow Sickness suffer from -1 defense, -1 resistance, and -1 damage. So this is nice if you're in the overworld or underground or something and you're not in the Shadow Realm. It's almost like they bring a little bit of the Shadow Realm with them. That's pretty freaking cool. And then aside from that, they're fairly standard Shadow Elf units. So these are really cool units, and they do have quite a bit of frost protection and the standard Shadow Elf fire weakness. Boy, oh boy, these are neat units. I do like these Umbral Weavers a lot. And they're something that I may end up getting eventually. So again, big thank you to Casper for pointing out that I should check out these units. In terms of what they end up getting as upgrades, at the gold medal rank, they gain Pass Wall, which is, I mean, again, just even better for them. So all in all, these seem like very, very cool units. A few other things that Casper mentioned. He had suggested casting Glyph of Warding here, and we'll take a peek here. So target friendly city is marked with glyphs that channel protective magical current in its domain. The currents deal 16 shock damage to trespassers each turn that they are within the city's domain. So I'm going to start casting this as I had a free opportunity here to do that. And Casper suggested putting it on this city, and that will sort of protect me if any units decide to jump through the Shadow Gate. They're going to have to jump through the Shadow Gate and attack my city all in one turn, or else they'll take a pretty decent amount of damage from this, and that'll make it easier for me to defend. So I think that's a brilliant idea. A few other things here. So Casper had mentioned with my Sorcerer upgrades to keep an eye out for level 9 and level 13. So when I hit level 9, I'm going to get access to Inflict Spirit Breaking, which is very, very good. And then at level 13, I'm going to get access to Thunderstorm. And in particular, Thunderstorm requires 10 upgrade points to buy. And so what I think I'll probably do is when I hit level 12, I'll save those 5 points and then carry them over and get Thunderstorm at level 13. And the only other thing is, and this is something that Brain had also mentioned, but Casper and Brain had both sort of said that essentially when it comes to using Convert, we'll go back to our Theocrat for a second, when it comes to using Convert, the list of units that are susceptible to this or immune is kind of arbitrary. So it almost ends up being the situation where you kind of just have to have the list in your head sort of memorized. So I'm going to work on kind of doing that. I'm familiar with some of the units that are able to be converted, but I'm also not sure exactly what is and isn't able to be converted. So we're going to kind of continue to explore that as we go. But anyway, thank you to everybody for leaving those comments. Again, I'm always blown away by the insight, and it's extremely useful for me. So thanks again, guys. All right, let's get into this episode, as there is a lot that I'm very excited to get to. So we had finished our turn here, and we still had a few things left to do. So we want to do production in our throne city. And what had we finished producing there? So Telvenda had already produced public baths. So I think maybe now we'll produce a hospital, and that's going to increase our growth rate and as well give us a little bit more happiness. So let's do that. So we'll start working on that. I suppose we could rush it, but I think we'll just let it produce standard. The happiness that we get from that would sort of cancel out, but I think we'll just let it produce it naturally there. Now in the city of Yathlon here, we actually could make an observatory. And the reason I'm going to focus on an observatory is because we have Arcane Study researched. And in addition, that's going to give us a little bit more domain, which will bring in this celestial pool. The observatory will. So I'm going to work on that there. Now up top here, we do have our Wisp, who's continuing to do a little bit of exploring. So I think we'll just kind of carefully navigate around that hostile Tigran city. And then we'll head up north maybe a bit and see what we can find. Now, we did summon this Fire Wyvern in our last episode, And fortunately, this Fire Wyvern also gains benefit of dedicated to neutral, of the Scales of Fortune, which means it now has a 100% greater chance to deal critical damage. This unit is nice because it has fire resistance as opposed to most of my Shadow Elf units. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to decide how would I best utilize this unit. If we go back over here, this stack is already full and has pretty solid units in it. Geez, it's kind of tricky to decide here where I should go with it. I think I'm going to send it north, actually, and I'm going to leave the Obsidian Wyvern guarding that city for now. Again, maybe not the most efficient thing ever, but we'll send this unit up to reinforce kind of up here with Malus, I think. And we're going to end our turn there. Oh, we do have a join offer here from Manthros, but we're going to ignore that because we don't have any units up here to defend the city. So we're going to just leave that High Elf city there as our vassal, as I think that's probably the more wise decision until we can get some units up top to the surface. Okay. So this episode, I would really like to try and use my abilities here. So we got Vraxen, our Shadow Elf Necromancer hero. We got him to level 7, and he now has Greater Reanimate Undead. So I really want to bring him down and raid these tombs. There's one here and one here. And hopefully we can acquire some big, scary undead units that are going to help us out. I'm quite excited to give that a try. And hopefully, too, we can even raid this Beacon of Light and maybe get some units from there. And in the meantime, we can also continue converting units using Virix. So, kind of a 1-2 punch here of Theocrat Necromancer having the ability to gain units in their own way. I noticed there we had a Scoundrel run by, so that's something we're going to have to deal with. Oh, and we're being attacked by some Shadow Demons here. So that's kind of nice. We can basically just use this as an opportunity to gain a bit more experience. Always a good thing. And let's see here. Now, we've got a Bombard and the Larva. So, let's see now. Does anybody need some health? These Phantasm Warriors could use a little bit of extra health, so we'll do that. And I think we'll actually summon a Lightning Sprite right there. And we'll send the Lightning Sprite in kind of as our vanguard, I think. Actually, we're going to spread our units out just a touch. There we go. And we're gonna leave everybody else kind of in reserve here. We don't really need them up front necessarily. Okay, there we go. That's kind of what I was hoping, is that they would just tank a bit of that damage. And then we can basically do a little bit of work there. And now it's basically just the Bombard left, so we can charge our Phantasm Warriors in to do some work. Whoops. And you know what? I'm going to put them on the support units there just to give them projectile resistance. And that's that aura that you see coming out of the Executioners there. Ooh, and we got lucky. Well, I'll take it. As annoying as lucky can be, it's nice when it procs for you. Gino had mentioned how funny it was in that last episode when that, I believe it was a Spirit Elemental, basically just was lucky, lucky, lucky over and over again, and how I got kind of annoyed in the episode, but it was kind of funny to watch. And I agree, looking back, it was kind of humorous. Alright, so nice easy battle. We did get a level up with our Phantasm Warrior here to gold, and that's going to get them Shock Protection and Tireless, which is very nice to have. So quite happy about that. Alright, so our turn is now over. Or, excuse me, our turn, it's flipped over, and now we're starting a new turn. So we're going to do our Glyphs of Warding here, and we're going to put it on this city for sure. There we go. That's a nice one to have. And let's start summoning something else here. I think what we'll do next is... So we're going to have Node Serpents right away again. So maybe we'll just summon another Wisp as a scout in the meantime. Alternatively, we could just not summon anything and then have extra casting points to start summoning a Node Serpent next turn. Actually, you know what? Maybe we will do that then. We'll save our casting points for having the Node Serpent next turn. Now, it looks like we have a quest up here. Let's see, what do they want me to do? So they want us to quell a rebellion. And we would actually get a tier 3 High Elf Griffin Rider, which would be kind of nice to get, honestly. Let's just close this panel for a second. So this is through this Shadow Gate, which means we're actually right in the vicinity. And you know what? I'm kind of tempted to do it. I think I'm going to do it, and the reason is because, again, we're going to be getting a tier 3 unit as a reward. So I'm going to accept that. And we have some time to do it. It's basically just a bunch of tier 1 units. Nothing too scary. So I think what we're going to do... We're already at this structure, the Beacon of Light. So let's check it out and see what we're dealing with. Okay, some goblins. I will definitely do this battle. We have to remember that we have Blessing of Health active. So these structures are actually pretty deadly. Yeah, let's give this a shot. And all these units are also going to have Lesser Shadow Walker, so all the enemy units are going to be immune to the effects of the Shadow Realm. So we have to keep that in mind while we're doing this. Alright. So we got to watch out for the Big Beetle, obviously. But we also are probably going to get hit by this Blight Doctor with Weakened. So whichever unit we throw up front's probably going to get hit by that. So maybe the Knights here or our Exterminator. But you know what? It might be even better if they throw it onto my Cadaver, because that unit's kind of a waste anyway. Or not a waste, but a sacrificial unit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw Touch by Faith on the Knights. And then on the Exterminator, I might throw the Bestow Iron Heart. So I'm going to I want to try and kind of draw them in here a bit. I'm hoping that they'll go after the Cadavers a bit. If I just kind of send them in by themselves, sort of. And then have the other units there to kind of reinforce them. And take advantage when they pounce on those units. So we're going to throw Bestow Iron Heart on our Exterminators there. So that's nice. We're going to just kind of gradually work our way up. And we don't want to get too far in there just yet. But I want them to go after my Cadavers here. Okay, so they threw Weakened on. Oh, yeah. Of course, they went after my 2 units that have the buffs on them. That is probably the smart move for them, so shouldn't be that surprised. So now we can... Actually, you know, we could go in and try for a convert on the Big Beetle. Let's see what our odds are. 50% chance. You know what? Let's see if we can increase those odds just a bit here with some Despair. We got 1 Despair off. Let's see how much that helps. 10%, pretty good. Oof, still resisted. I maybe should have waited and tried again, but it's alright. So now we can do some flank damage here. Nice big hit. And you know what? Let's build up a charge maybe. Yeah, there we go. Big attack there. That was really nice. Now I have to be careful here because they do have the Orc Impalers who are pikemen that can kind of mess me up if I'm not careful. I was going to charge in my Exterminators here and go for this Blight Doctor. However, if I do that, the Blight Doctor will probably attack me and die, and then the Impaler could come in and gut me pretty hard. I think we're going to do it, though. I want to tie them up. Okay, and they got lucky. That actually might help me in the end, but we'll have to see. Alright, so we're going to end our turn there. Let's see what happens. Oof, those Poison Bolts hurt when you have that Weakened and you're very impacted by Blight damage. Oh! Yeah, I should have seen that one coming. So that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Of course, I got a little overzealous with it. Fortunately, we are going to be able to at least recover their experience, but that does hurt quite a bit losing them. I'm very glad that I'm able to at least recover them as Cadavers, but that was a big blunder on my part. So we'll take out the Impalers there, and then we can actually finish them off. So now we really got to make sure we don't lose our Knight, because that would be absolutely catastrophic if that were to happen. So our Knight Guard here, I think, can move up. And we'll fight there a bit. And now this unit, or excuse me, the Theocrat here, I think I'm actually going to just drop a quick heal on my Knight, as I really don't want to lose. my knight. So I think I'm just going to keep my knight here in defense mode. And again, most of these units do blight damage, so I got to be kind of careful. There's another weaken coming out. Oh my goodness. That was kind of scary. So let's see, can we... Boy, I really don't like these blight doctors. I shouldn't say I don't like them, I just mean that they're tough to deal with. Okay, so this Night Guard actually gets Exploit Shadows and Ground Magic. Let's see what this does. Removes all magical effects from target enemy unit. The unit using this ability receives +2 damage for 3 turns. Interesting. That's a kind of neat ability. We'll get the kill there. We've got some Goblin Untouchables who are going to just need to get blasted pretty good here, I think. So let's do that. There we go, and then our Knights can kill off those ones. I think we can come in here for a nice flank attack. Pretty good. Move in and do some damage there. And then we should be able to just... Oh, we can't quite get the kill. Now, if we move up... I am a little scared of these Untouchables trying to go for Vraxen. Yeah, that's not going to kill them. Boy, oh boy. It's kind of scary here. Really hope that this unit doesn't do anything crazy. I don't think it's going to be able to. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And it would be nice to devour a corpse here and get some health back, so we're going to do that. There we go. And then we'll use these ones to do the same thing. Perfect. And we've already used up all our healing, so I think we're going to send our Night Guard in around behind. And yeah, we'll pretty much get the kill with a flank there. Could also just get it with our... You know what? We'll get it with the hero. Get the hero some more experience. So definitely a blunder on my part losing that Shadow Elf Cavalry unit. But we at least were able to recover them as a cadaver, so not a complete and total loss. We are getting a Halfling Brew Brother, and you know what? I'm going to take this unit because that unit is able to heal, which is very powerful. So I'm actually pretty tempted to send this unit up to join... up this way here to join my main stack, because that healing would be quite nice. However, getting all the way up there might be a bit of a journey. I have to think about this for a second. Well, in the meantime, I think what we'll do is we'll send this stack through the gate, and we want to go deal with this quest while we're here. And we actually had a level up here with our Theocrat hero. Vow of Poverty. All units in the hero's army require less upkeep. I think we'll take that. That's a nice one just to save some extra income. Especially eventually we're going to move Vraxen into his own stack, and then that's going to matter even more. So it's a good one to have, a little bit of extra income. So we'll deal with that with this stack. Now let's go back underground, as we have to deal with Malus here. So we obviously want to clear out this larvae pool. So let's use our hero himself to clear this out. I noticed there's a Forbidden Sanctum up north too. That would be really fun to go raid. Although again, I don't think we're maybe quite strong enough for that at this point. Maybe with a couple Node Serpents we'll be able to do that. Alright, so there's our Gold Medal Phantasm Warrior. We want to take advantage of him. And this is our Bronze Medal Phantasm Warrior. So let's go like this, and we'll summon a Lightning Sprite. Again, maybe that Lightning Sprite will take some of the damage. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. You know what? We're actually going to do this, and that way we've got projectile resistance kind of with everybody there. Okay. No dice there. I didn't get him to bite. I think we're going to just go up like this. And I'm actually going to let them attack me, because the reason I'm doing that, these lightning sprites don't actually have a static shield, so it's less advantageous to use them offensively. I mean, you still can, because they can inflict shock, but I think that would make more sense to just kind of leave them that way. You know what? We'll actually do a static shield here on these guys. There we go. And then we're just going to kind of gradually move in. Trying to kind of minimize as much damage as I can. So there we go. Using that up a bit was good. Now we can do some big damage here. So we'll do some damage, stun them, obviously. Quite effective. to get the kill there. Perfect. And then we'll use our cavalry here to just charge in and obliterate that little larvae. So that battle's dealt with. And fortunately now we don't have to worry about them spawning stuff to bother me. Another shield here. I believe we already have shields with all of our heroes, so I'm actually going to sell this off for gold. If I'm not mistaken, we already... Yes, we do. We already have a shield here. And if we just go to our hero real quick... Yeah, we already have shields with everybody, so I think it would make the most sense to just sell that one off. Okay, now here's that Forbidden Sanctum. Again, I don't think we're strong enough to try it. Although I am tempted to kind of go see what's there, to be honest. Would be kind of nice to at least go take a peek. That's a tricky call. There's some gold over here with this unit we were going to go grab. I almost forgot about that. Let me think about this a little bit more. So the other option is I just keep going north. This city's probably going to give me eventually another quest, or will want to become a vassal at some point. You know what? Let's see. How can we get up there? Not this turn with the whole stack. What the heck? You know what? Let's go wander up there. If nothing else, maybe we'll find other things we can clear out. And then now that we're here, let's take a quick peek with our hero. Okay, so we'd be fighting 2 Archangels and a Draconian Martyr, and they would have Mass Bless, which is obviously giving them quite a advantage with extra defense, extra resistance, and more morale. These Archangels would be a real tough cookie to fight against here. Wow, yeah, these are very, very powerful. They do have Resurgence, they have Healing, they have First Strike and Polearm. Yeah, I could probably do it and win, but I think I would lose quite a good chunk of my units, or at least I'd be at risk of losing them. I'm gonna have to think about that one, and I have another turn to think about it. That's a tough one. I think I'm probably just a touch too weak to do that one at the moment, but I'm gonna think about it. And you know what? We could start forming another little squad here, kind of a hodgepodge makeshift squad. We've got this Brew Brother, and we've got some units here, and it would actually be kind of nice to maybe group them up. So we've got our 2 melee units here, both are pikemen, and then we've got a healer. So that actually might work out kind of as a little stack here. We've also got our ranged unit here. This is our Archon Archer guarding the city, so we can send these units up to maybe do some scouting on their own or something, and then eventually we could move a hero into lead this stack if we can get another hero. Alternatively, we could take our Necromancer or our... Oh, and I didn't notice this, but look at this. Got some roaming units here. Now, I'm wondering, they may be coming from down here somewhere, so that's kind of scary. And unfortunately, there's not really going to be anything I can do to reinforce this city. At least not easily. Yeah, all my units are multiple turns away. How long would it take to get this guy over here? 2 turns, yeah. That's going to be unfortunate. I may have to see if I can employ my little cheese technique. Although that Wisp is going to make that challenging with phase, but I may have to do that or else I'm going to lose the city. I don't like using that little technique, but sometimes it does make things a bit easier. Let's see. Alternatively, I suppose we could start producing a unit there, maybe just to try and act as a bit of a deterrent. But that's not going to be produced until after these units have had their chance to move. So that's not really going to help me either. That's kind of unfortunate. I don't want to lose that city. I guess I probably should have kept it better defended in that case. Alright, well, let's think about here if we wanted to start building something. We've got 52 production in this city. So, you know what? Let's do a shrine. Actually, that's not the most efficient. Let's do a siege workshop. That's more production efficient. All right, and let's go check out what's kind of further north here. We'll kind of follow this road a bit. There we go. And now with this unit, now that that's all kind of happening, I think I'm actually going to send this unit down this way. And we won't summon anything because we're going to start summoning a Node Serpent next turn. So we're going to end our turn there. I'm still a little bit upset that I lost that cavalry unit. Again, that was just kind of my own hubris there a little bit. Once you get hit by that weakened, you have to remember that that's 60%. I think it's 60% blight weakness that you get hit with, and most of the units in that battle all did blight damage of some kind. Pretty much all the goblin ones anyway. And so, yeah, it was really kind of silly of me to continue to push in there with it. Not wise on my part. Thank goodness at least I was able to keep that cadaver around and not lose all that experience. Having 2 gold medal cadavers is quite nice. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see here if these units decide to move in and attack my city, which, quite frankly, I don't know why they wouldn't. And again, I'm fairly certain that they don't spawn out of this structure, but maybe they do. Okay, so, oh, we've just got some scoundrels attacking my little scout. There we go. Had a domain invasion. There it is. Okay, so we're going to do this one manually. We're going to see if we can basically just kind of kite them back the way that we often try to. I think we're going to be okay, but we'll have to wait and see. Ooh, you know what? I probably should have moved further because they're going to get close enough here pretty soon to be able to do some not nice things to me. My big fear is them phasing, but the good thing about phase is that it requires them to use all their movement. The other thing to worry about is that this Spirit Elemental has a ranged attack, and I think it's actually going to be able to hit me with it. I should have used all my movement there to run away. Yep, now we're hit. Yeah, and that counts as damage, so I don't think we have anything that's really going to help us in this battle. So I think we're just going to have to try and fight here. Like, we're going to lose, obviously. We're not going to have any hope of winning, but let's see, can we do something to these wisps? Let's see if we step back. I wonder how Arcane Arrows probably doesn't do a whole lot to them because I think they have, yeah, they have 100% shock protection, so yeah, this isn't going to end well for us. Let's try it. Okay. Yeah, see, that's pretty useless. I'll do a little bit of damage there. But this, yeah, this was kind of a blunder on my part. So we're going to have to come back and try and get this city back from these units, which is really unfortunate. I was quite liking having this city with all that extra knowledge income from it. So we're going to have to rally our troops a little bit here. And we have had another hero offer to join us. This is nice. Is Alara the Enchantress a level 3 rogue? So let's take a peek at her talents. So she starts off with Ground Magic, which is a kind of nice ability. She has Sabotage. She has Shadow Artifact. Adjacent enemy units are vulnerable to Shadow Sickness. She has Backstab, of course. Inflict Crippling Wounds. That's kind of nice. She's lucky because of Shooting Stars, of course. I'm not the biggest fan of rogue heroes, but I think I will take her just to have a little bit more variety. And there are some benefits to having a rogue, of course. Armor piercing. She's got here Dirty Half Dozen. All units in the hero's army gain Devout Slayer, causing them to deal +3 against devout units. This will actually help me against that Spirit Elemental, who I believe is a devout unit. Not 100% sure, but I'm fairly confident that this is a devout unit. Could be wrong, though. So maybe we'll take that. Let's see what else. Stronger than Steel. All units in the hero's army gain armor piercing. That's quite nice if we're fighting against, like, dwarves or something. Infiltration Squad. All units gain wall climbing. That's good if you have lots of units that aren't infantry. Counter Poison. I think we'll take, yeah, we'll take Dirty Half Dozen. And we'll take Counter Poison to have extra blight resistance. And now we're gonna have her lead a little hodgepodge army here, I think, over there. So first things first, though, let's start summoning that Node Serpent. We're gonna need it. Now I don't want to send her off by herself, so let's see. Can we maybe get? We can pretty much get our Fire Wyvern down here. So now can we join up? Not quite, hey, but close. I think we'll be okay there. I don't think any units are going to attack us. Taking a bit of a gamble there, of course, but and we'll actually send this unit down as well to come join up eventually. Might take a few turns to get there, but... And this stack actually... Oh, and look at this. We've had some other units pop out here. So a Draconian Scoundrel and a Lesser Shadow Stalker that have popped out of the Shadow Gate, I'm assuming. So again, that Glyphs of Warding was a good idea here. You know what, and I maybe should have even had it on one of my other cities here, like this one. So this is partially my fault for not clearing down here, because, again, what I should have done is gone and cleared out in this area to make sure that there was no risk to my city of roving units. And again, it looks like there now are roving units, so going to be a bit of an issue. So I'm actually going to send this stack back to guard the city here from this unit. And what I'm eventually going to do is take those 3 units and join them up with this hero, and then I can take back this city, I think, is going to be the plan. And yeah, so we've had a domain invasion there, and we've also had one here. So this city is going to be fairly safe now, thanks to having Glyphs of Warding and all these units defending. So I'm not too concerned about that. With this stack here, obviously I want to deal with this quest, but I also could send them back underground, and I'm going to do that eventually. I think we'll go right here, and we'll wait. Hopefully they come and attack us. That would be ideal. And so now we can pick some research here. So now we can already start working on Summon Eldritch Horror if we really want it. It's going to cost us 20 turns here. Although if we can get that city back, that would probably take less time. Pretty nice to have, but let's do basic seafaring real quick. I think Casper had mentioned that in a previous episode, that it'd be good to just get that one out of the way, and I agree. I think that would be good. Alright, so our units are all in really good shape. I don't feel confident doing this battle, honestly. I just don't think I don't think it's worth trying at this point. Especially kind of since we've had some other not so great outcomes so far. I think it would be better to just play it safe and avoid it for now. Wait till we're a little bit stronger and then give it a try. So I think maybe we could go clear this out and then head up north, but alternatively we could just head this way and ignore this structure here. I think maybe we'll do that. Let's just go north. And that's going to do it for our turn. So we'll end it there. Fortunately, this shooting stars is almost done. Thank goodness. So yeah, kind of a rookie mistake on my part, leaving this city poorly defended, but not having scouted all the way through here. And again, I probably should look back on what this structure is, because you notice here it's got that kind of red aura, and usually the spawning structures have that red aura. So I remember reading the description of this, and I don't think it said that it spawned units. So they're probably coming out of this area down here, which is where that spirit elemental would have come from. So when I take this city back eventually, I'm going to have to go down here and make sure I clear out any spawning structures that are giving me grief, basically. It's never fun losing a city like that. Especially when you've got it and it's giving you quite a bit of income. So like that knowledge income from that city was fantastic. Back up top. So I'm gonna hope that this unit decides to move in and attack me. But we'll have to see. You know, I was feeling pretty confident, and now this episode I've made a few blunders here, and things are... Okay, perfect. They are attacking me. Alright, let's take advantage of this. Maybe we can grab one of those longbowmen. You know what? If we can steal a few units here, I suppose at least the one unit, we could maybe move this elven city into being our, not just our vassal, but our actual city. So we'll use our cadavers here to kind of be our vanguard. We'll throw Touch of Faith on our cavalry. Night Guard can move up. Alright. So again, I want the enemy melee units to tie up with my cadavers. That's kind of the game plan here. There's one, and then the others can go right there. And now I should be able to kind of just whittle them away here with some well-placed range damage. So we'll go after the Union Guard there. We'll move our pikemen up just slightly. And then we'll hit some more, or I should say our Night Guard. And we'll set our knights right there. Alright, so these longbowmen are the ones that I would like to try and grab. Very, very powerful units. Alternatively, I suppose these initiates wouldn't be bad. But, yeah, I think I'm going to go after them, if possible. So, let's see if we can get the kill on these, well, or at least do quite a bit of damage there and then finish them off with our pikemen. There we go. Alright, so now the question is, can I get some despair on these guys? Or just outright kill them. I guess that works too. So now maybe I'll try for the initiates, I guess. So High Elf initiates can evolve, and they evolve into a High Elf Storm Sister. So that would be kind of nice to have. So that's who I'm going to probably try and use Convert on, I think. I'll just leave my knight there in defense mode. Ouch. Fortunately, now that initiate is in range here. Oh my goodness. That's going to do a lot of damage. I'm actually going to back off so it does less damage. And we got a critical again, so we're too powerful, I guess. Not that there necessarily is such a thing. So our Union Guard here, we can have 70% chance, so we got them at least, so that's kind of good. Do a flank hit there, which they resisted, or are lucky to, I guess. And we'll use our cadavers here to eat some corpses just to get our health back. There we go. And then, so we've used both our heroes, so now we can finish them off with our cavalry. So it wasn't completely useless, as we did get a pikeman unit out of the deal. So at the very least, we can use them as a scout. We did level up our necromancer, which is always a good thing. And then we completed that quest, which means we're going to be getting a tier 3 high elf griffin rider. A little bit squishy, but very mobile, so we'll take that reward. I'm quite happy to have that. Very nice. So a number of things have happened here. So let's do our level up with our necromancer. And let's see here. Lifesteal might be nice, just to have a little bit. Actually, I've got to think about how I want to build him here. So he's going to get Ghoul Curse, I think at level 9, if I remember correctly. Inflict Ghoul Curse, I should say. So I think we'll save the level up. I will do Lifesteal real quick, though. And then we'll save the other 5 points for when he levels up again. And okay, so we've got our Griffin Rider now. Quite a decent unit. Keep in mind, though, that any non-Shadow Elf unit is going to have that vulnerable to Shadow Sickness. Unless, of course, it's a Draconian. So, kind of, I guess, maybe makes sense to group these two units up. And so now, here's the thing. Do we want to maybe split our units up? We could keep our Theocrat up top here and start doing work in the overworld here, and we could bring this city into our fold. Gotta think about this for a minute. So our Necromancer is probably powerful enough if we leave maybe the Night Guard, the 2 cadavers, and the Knight. Oh, that's a tricky call there. Now we have to remember that we have these units here ready to go as well. So we've got a Halfling Brew Brother who can heal. Important to remember that he has Nourishing Meal. And some Draconians here. Kind of some cannon fodder infantry types. Again, pikemen. Yeah, that's a tough call. I got a decision to make there. Well, let me procrastinate making that decision by also then we'll deal with Malus here. So we'll send him up north. We're going to clear this structure out, hopefully. Let's see if we can do it without too much incident. This won't be an easy battle by any means, as we've got these Saints are very powerful. They're very hard to deal with, and they've got Lesser Resurrect and Healing. And then we've got some Foot Soldiers and 2 sets of Archers. And because there's a wall here, those Archers are going to be a pain. And we obviously don't want to lose anybody, so now the question becomes, how do we approach this? So we're going to use a Lightning Sprite. A Lightning Sprite we're going to try and use to get in there and tie up one of these Archers if possible. And everybody else we're going to just have to kind of try and see if we can figure out maybe how to handle this. Again, not the easiest thing to deal with, this setup here. It's really challenging that they have this fort. So I was hoping that they would attack and I'd get to use my projectile resistance to help me out a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to send the Lightning Sprite in here so what does this ability do? Static electricity, okay, so that's like a, okay. So we're going to sit right here and we'll put ourselves in defense mode. So that's going to hopefully tie up these Archers at least a little bit. And then in the meantime, the Phantasm Warrior I'm hoping that the Phantasm Warriors can move in. We're going to use the Exterminator as a mobile projectile resistance kind of bastion there, as you see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in defense mode along with both Phantasm Warriors here. Throw them all in defense mode to kind of help out. So we can move up a little bit and do some damage there, or try to anyway. And then we'll move Malus up. We'll also move our Infused up. Actually, maybe should have moved them in behind to have extra projectile resistance. Okay, so we're going to end our turn there. Let's see what they do. Okay, so that Spirit Ray is doing a lot of damage. That's not fun. Okay, so took out our Lightning Sprites. So now the question is, how do I proceed? So I'm going to drop a heal, first of all. There we go. Now the good news is I can get in there and do some damage, which is a good thing. The only bad news is I can only send 1 unit in at a time. So what I would like to do is put Static Shield onto the unit that's going to go in there. The only problem is, if I move back 1 step, can I still get in there? No, I can't. See, and that's the issue. So yeah, it would have been better to send, and that was a big mistake. I should have sent the gold medal one in because it has Tireless, and well, Tireless is what would have helped me out the most there. So instead, I'm going to have to send this one in, who's not going to be nearly as effective, and may end up dying. So that's probably gonna, I'm probably gonna lose that Phantasm Warrior, unfortunately, due to my blunder there. Now, if I move up here, can I summon the Lightning Sprite? No, I can't. In behind the walls, no. So we'll just summon him there. And this Phantasm Warrior, we're gonna move right up like this. And then we're also gonna move up our Infused. All right, now let's see what happens. I'm assuming this one's just gonna get bombarded by everything. Yeah. Yeah, and there's that stepping back and using your attack thing. Okay, well, at least they didn't die, although they're probably going to here shortly. Alright, so we'll move up like this. Fight the Saints a little bit. This one can move in and do some flank damage here on the Archers. And then if we move up, I think we can hit them a little bit at least. Assist a bit. Perfect. And now, yeah, this Phantasm Warrior is in big trouble. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot we can do to save him at this point. So now let's take a step forward with our hero. And I think we can maybe kill off these Archers. I think that's going to be our best shot. Let's try it. We did get a stun there. Okay, so yeah, these Phantasm Warriors are pretty much all dead. There's not a whole lot I can do to save them. We'll move in and attack the gate and hope that that maybe draws some aggro. And we'll throw our infantry on the wall, hoping that maybe that's going to pull some attacks. I don't think it will. Pretty sure this guy's going to die here. Okay, we got a lucky heal. Oh, okay. Wow, we got super lucky there. That was fantastic. I really thought we were screwed there. Okay. So now we have a second chance here to keep that Phantasm Warrior alive. Alright, perfect. So now we can just attack the gate. And so now this Phantasm Warrior and this Phantasm Warrior are going to have to team up to kill this Saint. So let's... Oh, lucky. Wow. Unbelievable. Just lucky going, like, all over the place. Let's see, maybe we can get a stun. Okay, we got a stun. That's going to help us out. Okay, now we're in good shape. So we're gonna use up our movement here such that we only do one attack. Perfect. Alright, now Malus, because Malus is floating, Malus can just charge right in. So we're gonna actually go get the kill with Malus. Or try to and fail. Oh my god. Just lucky all over the place. Alright, let's use our ability here and then go nuts. Perfect. And that's the battle. Oh, okay. Pretty dicey, but we got it done. And this Phantasm Warrior is now silver medal, which is good for us. Okay, we got some items here. So Mesmerizing Necklace, Inflict Dazzled. Melee attacks can cause the target to be dazzled for 3. Dazzled units cannot retaliate or make attacks of opportunity. And then we also got Lizard on a Stick, which gives us Poison Spit. I will take that mostly for the Poison Spit, I think. The Dazzled is less useful, but I'll keep it for now. Having another option for a ranged attack is always a nice thing, especially that does a different element of a different type of element of damage. All right, so we'll move up there. All right, perfect. So Asper Sen has now become part of our empire, which is great for us. And let's see, so what do we already have in this city? We have a storehouse, barracks, and a war hall. That's kind of cool. So we could actually start producing some, yeah, Draconian Raptors in this city. So this might be a good city to have kind of as a more of a production-oriented city. Let's see. So we've only got 30 production income, so not that much. So it would be great to actually increase that by producing a builder's hall. Unfortunately, it's going to take one extra turn where we're only using 10 because we got 4 turns here. 30, 30, 30 would give us 90, so that 4th turn is going to be kind of a waste. But I think we'll do it just because I really want to increase the production capability of this city. All right. So let me go back up top here, and we got to think about if we want to split this army up or not. So I think in terms of who I want to go back to the Shadow Realm, I definitely want my Necromancer going back because we've got tombs there. Now, as for maybe keeping a unit above ground, it might be nice to keep Virix up here and start clearing out structures, as we've got some structures here, units we could try and convert, some guys down here to convert. So now, obviously, if we're going to split this up, we're going to keep Vraxin and his 2 undead cadaver boys here with him. So we'll send them back. Now the question is, do we want to send anybody with them? We want to keep this High Elf Griffin Rider probably out here. I'm kind of tempted to send the Knight with Vraxin, just to have a little bit of help. We're going to be fighting against some undead and whatnot, so part of me wants to just keep this stack together, honestly. As we go back under, we have some Draconians, and we've got this Halfling Brew Brother. I suppose we could also send in this Archon Archer with Vraxin. You can see the morale's being impacted by the fact that we're neutral and this unit is dedicated to good. So let me think about this a little bit more. This is a really tough call, and I do want to maybe try and go over here and convert what's in this ancient ruin. I think, yeah, you know what? If we leave the Night Guard, let's send the human knight down there as well. Even though it is impacted by the Shadow Sickness, it's going to be nice just having another pretty strong unit there. And then we can add in the Brew Brother and the Charger to this stack, so we'll do that. And then our Temple Guard can just hang out. And now we've got our kind of unit, hodgepodge unit up here. So we will group up like this. There we go. So we've got pikemen, pikemen. Oh, it'd be nice to have a ranged unit. We've got a cavalry here. Let's go back underground. So this unit does have a ranged unit and a ranged unit. I think what we'll maybe do is we'll actually send our Archon Archer up into the overworld. So we'll just move off so we can actually do that. And we'll keep the Temple Guard there to guard the city. And now we want this unit to actually go above. There we go. And now we'll send this unit over to join. Oh, and of course it can't do that. Can we only send some through? I guess everybody has to go through if they're going to go through. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, because we got these mountains that are in the way. I suppose we could step off and stand right here, although that's going to increase the amount of time we have to spend then moving over. So, yeah, okay, let's go back into the Shadow Realm then. Oh, okay, so that's how that works. Got it. Okay, so we'll just do this. Perfect. Okay, sorry for all that back and forth there, but just had to figure out how that worked. All right, excellent. So now the next turn we'll send this unit over to try and join up here. Okay, and we also have to remember we still have Node Serpents we can summon, so that's another way to reinforce that other stack. All right, bit of a mess, but it ended up working out okay. So now we've got some decisions to make in terms of research. We do want more casting points. However, I am going to start beelining for Eldritch Horror, I think. Oh, it's tempting to maybe try some of these other ones, but like Sphere of Protection's pretty useful. Even having a damage ability like Magic Fist would be kind of nice. Because right now I don't think we have any damaging abilities, do we? No, we just have Static Sphere and Dispel. You know what? Let's do Magic Fist just to have a damage dealing ability, and then we'll do Eldritch Horror. It's always nice to have an ability to do damage, if you have to like get a last hit on a unit or something, one that's giving you a lot of trouble. So we'll do that. Sorry, it seems like I'm hemming and hawing a lot this episode, but we've had some kind of tricky and tough decisions to make, so trying to not blow it too much. Obviously, nobody's perfect, but I would really like to get this Arcane Item Forge going to be able to start making items, but I also kind of want to just get my palace eventually going in this city. So I think we will do a temple. Also, we want more mana income as we're starting to run kind of low. We've been casting a lot of spells, so... Alright, back up here. We got 78 production income, so let's do a shrine. Gain augmenting mana income there. Alright, now this unit we're going to group up, because we want to move over and get our city back eventually. So we're just going to start cruising over here. Okay, there we go. So now we'll start heading over. Now we're going to need more than just those two units, obviously, but that's, I think, where Varaxon's going to come in. I think we're going to send Varaxon just down to take the city and maybe grab... we could try clearing this out or seeing what's in there at least. Yeah, so it'd be nice to have another unit in this stack, honestly. I suppose I could leave this city unguarded. I don't really want to do that. You know what I could do? I could move this guy into guard. You know what? That's what we'll do. There we go. Okay, we'll send that Wyvern down. We'll send this guy in to guard the city. That'll work out okay. Alright, so we're going to tell him to chill. We've got this stack here. We're going to tell this stack to just chill out as well. And our archer here we want to move over, so we're going to be good there. So that'll do it for our turn. Boy, definitely not my cleanest execution so far. But, all in all, we're still in reasonably good shape. We're going to have this Node Serpent coming out, which is going to be helpful for us. Now the question is, who's going to benefit the most from the Node Serpent? And we do have, if we cast it in this city, we're going to get the extra critical chance, but I think it actually is going to make more sense to maybe cast it on one of our stacks, so maybe on Virix's stack up here, to give us kind of the most bang for our buck in terms of having it on the front lines then. I suppose the other option is we summon it to help out this stack, but again, I think we're going to just use Vraxen here to come back and take the city, and then he can also go loot these tombs while he's going there anyway, so it makes sense for him to do that. And in that case, maybe we should actually think about using this hero differently. Where does this Shadowgate go? Here. Suppose we could actually even go up to the surface here with that hero, the rogue, and start doing some exploring up there. I would like to have more units in this stack, though, and have them not be kind of quite so... this stack be quite so vulnerable to attack, but... Okay. So we have an alliance proposal from Chiron. We will definitely take that. Become a vassal, please. Thank you. So we want to get some more evil points eventually, too, as we're, again, getting more and more good. So we might have to employ that strategy that Brain had suggested. All right, we now are able to summon our Node Serpent, which is going to be good. So in the meantime, okay, and we do have these roving units down here. I would like to just get rid of them so this city isn't at risk anymore. So I'm going to just head down there. As annoying as it is to use up some of my movement on that, I want to just take them out. So we will engage them. There we go. So we'll get this battle dealt with. Ouch. Brew Brothers just took a smack there pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to charge our cadavers in. Get them up front. And we're going to just kind of send everybody else back to just hang out. Brew Brothers are kind of in rough shape, so I'm actually going to use them to heal themselves, I think. There we go. So I'm hoping that they're going to engage my cadavers up front, but we'll see. Some frost shards going at my draconians. Boy, we're just getting crippled all over the place. But now we are able to at least do some attacks here. So there's one dead. And we can move in and attack the scoundrel while we're at it. And then I think we should be able to get the kill here with a ranged attack. Yep, perfect. Get our Brew Brother up a little bit. Now we can use our Human Knight to attack the Shadow Stalker. We're going to do that. There we go. Let's bring our Crusher in to help out. Well, he broke off to attack my cadavers, which was kind of a bad move on his part because I'm just going to do this. There we go. And we can actually move in and throw some cleavers there, and then we can get our kill and get a bronze medal level up with our Human Knight, which is good. We need that Knight leveled up ASAP just to get stronger. Alright, so now with our stack, we're going to actually head over this way, like this. Get the Knight in there. Now, we might be worth checking out this Raven's Keep and just seeing what's in there, and then we can go down and grab the city. So maybe we'll do that. So we've got a joint offer from Manthros. We now have units up here, so I suppose we could accept it. I'm still not super confident, though, as I haven't really cleared everything out up here, honestly. I think I'd rather maybe wait. Although I suppose we could send this Archon Archer over to guard the city. You know what? Let's accept it. Oh, we're going to get more good points from that, too. Well, one thing I know for sure is we're going to put our Node Serpent in with this stack, because they're going to be doing some fighting. So, while we're thinking about what to do with this city, let's do some battling. And so we can do this. We'll engage this battle, and we'll see if maybe we can convert one of these pesky little halflings here. Wouldn't mind getting maybe one of these Jester units. That would be kind of nice. Alright, so we will blast the Night Watch a little bit. Send our Griffin Rider kind of up like that. Oh, and you know what? I shouldn't have grouped up like that, because now we're going to take the blast damage from the... Yeah, there, exactly. Oof. Boy, we took some big damage on our hero there. That wasn't so good. Alright, well, let's move in like this. Ooh, and they got lucky, of course. Pesky halflings. So we'll use our Griffin Rider here to attack the Night Watch. There we go. They're dealt with. And now we can try for a convert. 65% chance. Oh, and it failed. Ouch. It's kind of unfortunate. Okay, we did get the kill there, though, so no worries. And then we can... Now the question is, do we want to move in and attack the Adventurer, or do we want to go finish off the Jester? Our hero's pretty much out of the way, so I'm not too concerned about the Jester. You know what, though? I think let's just finish off the... There. Now, of course, the Adventurer is probably going to move in and attack my hero. Or just go after my Node Serpent. That's fine, too. So we'll actually use heal here on our Griffin Rider. And we'll fly our Griffin Rider in and turn this unit around. Oh, and not get the kill, of course. And then we'll try for the kill with our Node Serpent, just like that. Perfect. It's nice having that Node Serpent in this stack. Ooh, and some treasure down there. We can go try and raid that. And move around maybe and get this cleared out. Well, you know, I should have checked in that circus. There might have been a unit I wanted to purchase. Alright, let's clear this treasure chest out here. We'll try for one of these goblin units just to have another unit. I'm hoping that if I can convert another unit... Actually, I'm going to try for the support unit here. I want that Blight Doctor if possible. So I'm actually going to drop back and heal myself with Virix there, because she is a little bit beat up. And boy, actually a lot of my units are in not great shape here. So I think we'll keep our Griffin Rider kind of up front, along with our Night Guard. Kind of like this. There we go. Now we got to watch out, because there's pikemen here, so that's going to hurt. But so weakened, yeah, there it is, as always. Okay, no worries there. Just fine. Now, let's see if we can get a convert off here. So we'll move in like this, and let's try it. 50%. Oof, failed. We're really not getting good luck when it comes to that. So now Node Serpent, I'm actually going to... What kind of damage do we do here? Let's use Sprint, and we're going to do that so we get an extra attack in case we need it. There we go. Got the kill, no problem. Charge in at the Blight Doctor and get the kill there. Perfect. Okay, so no conversion, but we did get some treasure, which is good. So we're doing really well for gold. I'm quite happy with our gold income. In terms of casting spells, we'll just start casting another Node Serpent, I think. So back underground. So again, we're gonna really press to get this city back here. Pretty much as soon as we've tried this Raven's Keep, we're gonna then make a beeline for the city with Varaxen. Kind of a stupid move on my part to lose the city in the first place, but you know, it happens. Maybe with this hero, we'll actually go check out what's going on up top. I suppose the other option is we send this hero down to check this out and see what's down there. So maybe that's actually the better plan, now that I think about it. So we'll move in like that. And in terms of what to research, Starblades is a nice upgrade for a unit, but I think we are going to start working on Eldritch Horror. Obviously, there's still time for me to change that, so let me know in the comments if you think that working on Eldritch Horror now is a good thing, or if I should wait and do other things that are less expensive in terms of the amount of research it's going to, or the amount of turns it's going to cost. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I want to try and just get tier 4 units quickly, so I think that's going to be what I'm going for. But again, that may not be the best plan. And then, you know what, I think we're going to end the episode there. That's a good place to leave off in terms of kind of me positing that question to you guys. So, definitely a bit of a blunder there. We lost our city. We're going to try and get it back quickly here if we can. But we did have a few good things happen. And we are now getting kind of established up top here. And I think I'll have to think about before this turn is over in the next episode if I want to accept this city coming into my domain or not, or just continuing to be a vassal. So, I think we will call that an episode there. We're going to save it. We'll call this one episode 5. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one.